Hello, good to be with you again. We're going to be playing with the Sleep Deeply, Wake Refresh Paraliminal, and this time we're going to be talking about sleep deeply. Now, you know that the idea of going to bed is a time that all of us need to have to replenish, revitalize our brain, our body, our mind. And there are little times just before falling asleep and just after waking up, or just before waking up, I should say, that are ideal for communicating with the inner mind. It's called by researchers the twilight state. This is a time where we're physically relaxed, our mind is relatively calm, not quite awake, not quite asleep, but we're in a direct communication with the inner resources of the non-conscious mind. This is the perfect time to be communicating what it is that you would like the mind to be able to live into, to achieve, not just as you're asleep at night, but also as you awaken and what you want for the day. There was an educator at 3M Corporation here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul that said the 10 most valuable minutes you have every day is the 10 minutes you have when you awaken and tell your mind what you want. So when you go to sleep at night, I say this is the best time to prepare yourself for the next day that's coming. So sleep deeply works on a couple of different levels for us. The idea behind it is as you're getting ready to go to sleep at night, it's ideal if you can establish your intention. What do you want your mind to actually create for you as you sleep? Many people, when they're exhausted, they just pass out. They just hit the pillow and they're gone. No real thought about how did the day go? What would you like to have happen tomorrow? What do you want to dream about? So I say, take a moment, drive a little wedge in that activity for a moment and establish a clear communication of what it is that you would like to have. So the recommended protocol as you're putting this paraliminal on is that you stop in the busyness of the day to make this your own time to communicate within. Review your day, what Dr. Buckminster Fuller referred to as live your life in a day-tight compartment. So go through and review your day. What worked? Any area of your life where you felt expansive, your heart open, you connected with people, you made a difference somehow. Take a moment to reinforce that. Praise yourself for what worked. You might think about, how did you set that up to be so successful? Then a second round is to go through your day and think about any area of your life that did not work out the way you would like it to, or there might have been a sense of contraction or attention or some kind of mistake or fail that you didn't really have as an intention for the day, but there it went. Question is, could you have done it any differently? If not, if circumstances were such that that's the way it was going to go, whether you had anything to do with it or not, fine, let it go. Just give it up and say that was the best I knew how. However, if you think, I probably could have done a little bit better there, then ask yourself, if so, how? What specifically would you have done? And then mentally go back through and retake, like a motion picture saying, take, that's a take. That was good. Retake. We're going to redo that scene, play that scene over again. And in a choiceful way, imagine it turning out the way you would have liked to. What is it that you said? How did you think differently about it? What actions did you take? What were the responses of others when you took those actions, so that you really feel, if a similar situation happens in the future, that's exactly how I would like it to be. And then you state that to your mind. Tell yourself that. It works tremendously. It's called reprogramming. You're programming your mind for success. You're reprogramming anything that didn't work so that you are on a new trajectory for next time something like that occurs. And then the final thing to do is tell yourself what it is you'd like to dream about. And we also have the dream play Paraliminal, which is really good for that. But sleep deeply is a great opportunity to do the same thing. Ask yourself, what would you most like to dream tonight? Because this is an opportunity, as Dr. Stephen LaBerge at the Stanford Sleep Research Laboratory said, this is the greatest personal growth opportunity that we have. We sleep a third of our lives. Why not use it to our advantage? So as you go to sleep, tell yourself that you would like to have a problem worked out, or you'd like to see yourself in a situation preparing and getting the resources you need to succeed, whatever it might be. Tell yourself what you'd like to dream about. Then you can go ahead and go to sleep. When you listen to the Paraliminal, it gives you the opportunity at the end to either bring yourself out or just allow it to shut itself off and you drift off into a beautiful sleep on your own. You get that choice. For example, some people will listen to the Sleep Deeply Paraliminal maybe an hour or a half hour prior to getting ready for bed. That way they can sit back and relax and go to bed more well-rested. Interestingly, we do sleep better if we go to bed well-rested, not just totally tapped out and exhausted. So that's very, very helpful. The other thing I'd like to talk about now is once you do go to bed and you are going to sleep, there are a couple of things to consider. Some of us are so busy and have so much interfering mental traffic. It might be kids, it might be the phone, it might be 1,000 tasks that you have to do. And now everybody else is asleep and you're getting into bed. You have no other obligations. This is your time. Now you have some free time to think, right? Your own thoughts. So it's a fun thing to actually try to work out some of the problems that we're faced with during the day. And I get this. However, you're in bed, so you can't really do anything about it. So what I say is, if you must, go ahead and indulge yourself with 15 or 20 minutes of having your own thoughts and trying to work things out, but then cut it off. Say, that's enough. Time for sleep. And what I recommend is say to yourself, now mind, on this issue, tomorrow, bring me a solution to this problem. Let me awaken with an idea that I can implement when I get to work tomorrow, or when I need to address this problem next. And that way, you're actually delivering it to the non-conscious mind to work on below the threshold of your conscious awareness. So when it comes up in consciousness again, there attendant with it are the solutions that your inner mind has worked out on your behalf. Another thing I'd like to suggest to you is that sometimes people wake up in the middle of the night. And it's a habit on most people's part, not on people who've been trained by me, but on most people's part, that they get really disappointed when they awaken at night. And then they start giving themselves negative suggestions about, oh, now I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow. Oh, now I'm not going to be able to get back to sleep. Oh, now I'm all wide awake. I won't. Stop it. If you awaken at night, allow yourself to get relaxed again and say to your mind, the remaining hours that I have through this night are going to be the equivalent of an entire 8 hours rest. Even if you just have an hour or two left, tell yourself that. Your mind will do that. Your body will do that for you. If you awaken and say, oh, I'm going to be exhausted today, your mind will do that for you. Your body will give you that experience. So don't give yourself any negative suggestion. Stay in the positive. Tell your mind what it is you want and use that quiet time as a kind of a meditation, a time to be still, to be connected with Source, to reconnect with that essential energy that brought you into this universe. That's a very quiet, peaceful time. And, you know, if you wake up one night at a certain hour, it might happen that the next night, you would do the same thing. So just get in a routine of just lulling yourself back to sleep, saying, it's okay that I'm awake. I'm going to get a lot more rest as I go back into sleep now. Very positive, very calming, very expansive, embracing the reality of what your mind and body can do for you. Now, the final point that I would like to make is that the human circadian rhythm, the natural rhythm of the brainwave frequencies at night are 90-minute cycles. So it's ideal if you can sleep in a complete 90-minute cycle. That's why sometimes what happens is people will go into a deep sleep quite rapidly, and they'll come out a little bit and they'll waken after an hour and a half and feel completely rested, but it's super late in the middle of the night or very early in the morning, and they get a little freaked out because I feel so good. I could just get up right now. No. Go into the next 90-minute cycle. So 3 hours, 4.5 hours, 6 hours, great sleeping time. 7.5, way better. Most sleep research coming out now is between 7 and 9 hours is what the human brain and body need. If you can get 7.5 hours, yeah, that's going to be awesome. You're sleeping in a complete 90-minute cycle, and you'll tend to awaken on the cycle coming up, your brainwaves coming up. You'll be more refreshed, more alert, more in charge. That would be a really good time to listen to the other session on this paraliminal, the Wake Refresh Paraliminal. Hope you get the idea. It's a wonderful thing to be able to use our sleep cycle. I hope you have beautiful dreams tonight. Rest well, rest deeply, and in the morning, wake refreshed and enjoy a fabulous day. It's Paul Scheele. It's all for now. Bye for now.